Thank you. This panel was not mine, but the moderator had COVID, so no option. But okay, guys, just to explain you, if we uh, just all of these guys have traveled from far away. I just want to hear a loud noise for them, just to. Uh, they believe in India as an ecosystem. Some of them are Indians only, but they believe in India as an ecosystem. Their large businesses are sitting internationally. They are promoters in their part of the world in a big way. Okay, and they're looking at businesses together, what we can do in two markets. This part of the session, more interest will take on how your business ecosystem and how we can learn from that and how we both can work together. Yeah, so that's the how Osman wants to see more Indian promoters in Dubai. I think Osman. Most of them are my partners in some way. Sorry about that, but yeah, all of us are related party. But Rohit Rampal, we did one show in Singapore. He's great production setup, huge production setup. I saw his four brothers in the same business. How beautifully he's developed that business, sitting out of Malaysia, sitting out of the Kuala Lumpur, and any show, any large show happening in that region, this man is responsible for. Today, if you need as event management company, yes, they are the best in that region. Osman, his name is Osman. Twice you have to say Osman. So Osman runs a company called Blood. Osman is a South African and one of the largest promoters from South Africa who changed his base between Dubai and South Africa. Now, and he's the largest promoter of South Africa. South Africa, if you need to take any show, you have to get in touch with this man. There's nobody else who understands that business so largely. And plus his, now the strength, he just launched Atif Aslam show in Abu Dhabi today, which is a large show. Congratulations, Osman. And how he's using a lot of international artists, which are coming to Middle East, is lots he's doing. Get in touch with him if you want to bring in international artists. This is another frame of work to do. Gagan Takyar, our own man from India, who is now based in Dubai. The Gagan has been in the live business in many frames. He parallelly runs an event business in Dubai. Plus, practically little hand in every live business he's got it now. And now producing lots of shows in Middle East. He just recently finished a show in Singapore. Sonu Nigam, kaun tha? Sonu Nigam show in Singapore. So that's where somebody who's based out of this region now moved to Dubai, doing a show in Singapore and is on a panel in India. I think so, truly international. Deepak Pawar, my true partner in Middle East. Deepak and Deepak people call us, and Deepak runs Midas Eva in Middle East, and we'll hear more. Deepak, I don't want to talk about you. You are our star. And everybody knows you. Ajay Kanjani, Milestone, the company, if you need to go to Dubai, any Indian artists, they look for Ajay Kanjani. They don't work without Ajay Kanjani. If Ajay is not involved, that means there's no Indian artist in that format. Ajay, thank you for coming in. And Thomas, guys, all of you heard. Let's hear for one more time for all of these great gentlemen. And Rohit, we'll start with you. Rohit, just can we get some more mics here? Yeah, one or two more mics, please. Rohit, just give us a frame of how Kuala Lumpur is. What is that working in KL/Southeast Asia? How the Indian content, you're taking it there, all of it, what's working, so that we can choose to take that particular Indian content. I'm using the word India and city too also, which we are not good with now. So I'm not using that city's name, but you've done a lot of that content also. How that is working as a business. Plus, are you okay to work with us as India and give us shows in India? How that can work? Now, you're buying so many shows. He does a festival called Pinkfish Festival, which is one of the largest festival in KL, 30,000 people, and how a sunburn equalizer of a festival in Malaysia. So just talk about your ecosystem. I think in some learning we can get from there.
Hi guys. So what I've done in the past like couple of years, maybe I've been in the industry for 16. This is the 16th year. So I've built sort of like a 360 around my businesses. I'm into event management. It's where I started off. I own my own AV production. I have a concert production arm. I have a media agency who does PR, marketing. We build websites and 360 for marketing. And then I own event spaces for corporate events, weddings, and stuff. I am also now dabbled in the last 2 years into F&B. I own a nightclub, I own a lounge, I own a Japanese restaurant, Italian restaurant, and also
And one
recently.
of the finest food I've eaten at all his restaurants.
Yeah.
That's the Wait For.
Yeah.
And it is unbelievable. He wants to open those restaurants. If anybody is keen, he wants
in
to open
Mumbai,
in
yeah,
India.
Mumbai and Delhi, yeah.
Yeah.
So I've sort of built like a sort of ecosystem. So for me, I've done a lot of the Indian sort of Bollywood content. I've done Shah Rukh, Temptations Reloaded with Morani Bhai, and I've done like stuff like Arijit with Alabai. I've done Sonu Nigam. I've done Rahat. I've done practically most of it. Mika, Sunidhi, the works. So for me, what I've done in the past is I've built a sort of community that when people know that Rohit or Hitman is bringing a show to Malaysia, it's going to be good. Because there's a lot of times where a lot of foreign promoters, a lot of different promoters who come and do shows in our countries, they don't have the local support because people generally, there's so many communities, right? I have Gujarati communities, Sindhi communities, the Punjabis, the Bangladeshis, the Marathis, different communities in my city. And we kind of know all the presidents of all the societies, and it's very community-based programming in terms of marketing. So we have sort of kept that database over the years in the past 10 years, and that's always been worked. Malaysia is a very, very small market. Most artists, agents doesn't understand that Malaysia is not Singapore, is not the Dubai where we can pay the top dollar. First thing, our currency is weaker. And our diaspora is not as big as Dubai because you have a lot of expats, high spending expats. We are third generation Indians. A lot of my peers, my friends, I would say my family members don't even listen. Some of them don't listen to Bollywood because now the craze in Malaysia is K-pop. It's more techno or it's metal, rock or pop, whatever. So I don't have that strong expat community as how Singapore has or how Dubai has to do that mass numbers and pay that same fees that we have paid. But also one thing good that Malaysia has is the local Malay population, they listen to Bollywood but a very segmented way of Bollywood. So like Arijit Singh we did last year, we sold out. 98% sold. That for me is a sold out. We had almost 12,000 people in the venue. It's our arena, Axiata Arena. So that was like not done since our Temptations Reloaded show, which was in 2014. After that was the only show we sold that numbers. Normally, usually our numbers are like 2,000-3,000. That's the max we can go. So what now we are trying to do is we're sustaining our database and the community. We're trying to build that experience like how India is now built. If you go for a concert, this is what the experience you get. Amazing production. There's a different vibe. There's a family element. Everybody goes for a concert. Today, the youth of our city is understanding that they are paying for concerts. So now next month, June, I'm doing B Prague. People say, B Prague is more known for his public shows. But I'm doing like his first show in Far East for a public show. For a ticketed show. And we have already sold more than 50-60% of the venue, which is about 3,000 capacity venue. So, but what people know is, I'm going to come for the show, Hitman is promoting it, it's going to be a good production, I'm going to have a good time. So instead of watching a movie or spending in a nightclub or whatever, I'm coming out with my family and watching a live show.
Tell me on international piece also, how do we get to get international artists here where we can collaborate India and international?
Yeah, the route makes sense. So I do a lot of rock, I do a lot of hip hop, I do a lot of dance music. The route works. It's a 5-hour flight. It really works. So definitely booking and doing like 2 weekends, maybe do a weekend in Southeast Asia and then come out to India. It generally really works. But it's just that how the agents want to route it and how do we...
And it is, I understand that if India we're paying, say, 200,000, you will only pay 100,000.
125. Yeah,
125,000,
yeah.
That's the math.
Yeah.
Okay, Rohit, we're going to come to Osman. Osman, can we hear your story? What are you up to and how you see Indian artists coming to Middle East as a region or South Africa? Do share more about South Africa because we'll hear Middle East from many people. We want to hear South African market a little.
So myself and my wife Shaista started Blue Blood over 15 years ago. And it was a dream. We started off in South Africa. I think our first Bollywood act at the time was Pankaj Udas. We targeted a segment that was untapped, which was the elderly crowd, which people didn't understand the dynamic in that where the money was. That's where they were established. They had the disposable income to come out. And ever since then in South Africa, we've done almost everyone. We've done the Arijit Singhs. I remember in 2013, 2014, we were one of the first promoters to take Arijit Singh to South Africa for a public show, and he had just done the song with Tum Hi Ho. And we had marketed that show as the Battamiz Ashiki Night because we had Benny Dayal there and Arijit Singh, and we had collaborated the two posters of those shows. The South African market is a very, I would say, established market because obviously with the heritage of India, you know, South African or Indians from India moved over to South Africa. There's that relationship, all our ancestral, lineage is here in India. So people want to come out and support it. Although we're 2 million Indians, we've had our biggest shows of 15,000 people in South Africa. So we play venues from 3,000 going up to 15,000. Now the market is more established. I think they don't want to come out for the smaller names. They want to come out for a bigger name. They want to come out for an Arijit Singh. They want to come out for an Atif Aslam. There's a lot of factors and reasons for that because of crime, which is, I'm patriotic to my country, but yes, we do have a criminal problem. But people are going out for the bigger names. They're making it worth their while. And the South African market's a very niche market. We understood that. We created the experiences like Rohit. We called it the Blue Blood experience, where people came out. They were now following the company aside from just following the show. We built that brand. They knew if you come to our show, you were getting something very different, great production. You were getting a personal sort of, taken care of personally by myself, Shaista, and our team. We were on the ground, and that's very, very important.
I want to add one point. While I've seen Osman very closely on why they own, like Blue Blood, they are the brands and their face is up front there. I earlier used to think that you should not be seen. But he actually, everybody knows Blue Blood Osman and people buy ticket and look for Osman. Now, and that beautifully how you've done in Dubai also. I think we should learn that. I'm saying we should not stay away from the face. I think
it was very important. We realized that in a very short space of time in South Africa, we were the promoters. We were investing the money, and it was thousands of hundreds of thousands of dollars. We were paying for the flights, and then we were paying the MC to go on stage and the artist to acknowledge us while we were sitting on the seat. This business, yes, we all make our bread and butter, but it's a glorified business card. We took it upon ourselves to go out and MC the show. And sometimes we do a better job than the MCs themselves. But there was a reason behind it. Because the business of show business starts after the show. Where if you do things cleverly by reverse integrating your business into other businesses, where you have an ecosystem like Rohit, where he has a tech sound company, a digital media company. We had done something similar. That audience wants to do business with you. They just don't want to come out to the show. They want to meet you. So you've got a dynamic in the UAE of 10, 15,000 people coming out. I guarantee you there's 1% of those people that you're going to close a deal with if you reverse integrate, as well as if you have something to on-sell them. A number of other promoters have started property companies, all of these things, those dynamics. But if you find a niche that you're good at, the business comes after that.
Completely. Two more parts of the question. One is ticketing. I've seen very closely not a single free ticket. How they manage that so well. I think, and I've learned that it's a structure where. And both of you actually, and I've learned from that market how not a single free ticket if they're buying their own tickets to give it to their friends and family, and that's a learning for our part of the world. We end up it's just PNL. If we are partners and we've added tickets in the PNL, it's added that you've taken that much money, and that's so beautifully done. Appreciate on that. One more thing, I wanted to understand one scale part of it from you, that you're booking 30, 40, 50 artists between Middle East and South Africa. How this cash flow management happens?
I think that's just two important questions that you asked. From a ticketing point of view, we come from an environment in South Africa where there's no government sponsorship. On the bigger shows, you're dealing with a population of plus minus 70 million people, 2 to 3 million Indians. You're not getting the sponsors that are running at you, the banks, or because the Bollywood market's a very niche market. They don't need it. Our environment was selling tickets. That's where we were making money. And in the beginning, yes, anyone that phoned me, my uncle, my auntie, my mom, whatever, I would dish out tickets. And I became known in the industry as Osman Free Tickets. We were bringing the shows, and at the end of the shows, when we did the P&L, we were the ones crying because we weren't making a profit or we're not breaking even. And we learned that very quickly to say, if the show is not selling, I'd rather remove the seat than give out the ticket for free. Because what we were doing is we were grooming that audience to know, well, don't buy the ticket, they're just going to give it out for free. And we learned that very, 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 very in the beginning. Remove the seats, rather have 2,000 people than 3,000 people. Rather let the artists see that they've come out to a show that they charge you X amount, and now they know the true value is only 2,000 people and not 5,000 people. So if artist X comes and Sonu Nigam sold out the venue, but he's sitting with empty seats, he knows his value. At the end of the day, we're using a plug-and-play model where we're going out and marketing, and we're doing the exact same thing for every artist that we bring. So we're not compromising on that. Then where Deepak, where you said, managing cash flow. Again, it's independently run. You're not taking on investors, and it is a strain. I think it's just managing it where sometimes force majeure comes into play, where you have to, cancel the show. And you got money tied down for 6 months, but you were going to get that money out, a week later if the show happened. It's very important in terms of managing the cash flow. From our point of view, we look at, what is our capital that we're willing to lose? Because whenever we do a show, and we say, we're going to roll in $300,000, in our mind, we lost that money. If we make it back with a profit, great stuff. It's like going to the casino. I mean, we're all in that environment. Sometimes you say, I'd rather go 0 and 29 on the neighbors, right? And you got 1 in 36 chances of winning. But it's very important to manage your cash flows because the bottom line of it all is we're all in this business to do shows. We roll from one show to the next. And we try and do that, but sometimes we get it wrong. Sometimes we get it wrong, our monies get stuck. And you have to look at the other silos that you've created within your business to try and absorb money from there to sustain what you're doing as your core business.
So true. Thanks, Osman. Gagan, guys, this is going a little slowly, but I'm going to end in this way only. Thomas, you and me can chill. So, yeah. So, Gagan, again, you want to share your pieces of how you are still being able to, how your live journey, how you're seeing internationally sitting in Dubai, what it makes easy sitting in Dubai, and then how you are investing in different places.
Hello. Hi, everyone. Okay, I run an event management company out of Dubai, and I've been in India all my life. In fact, 4 years back, we moved to Dubai. And Dubai, we run a B2B event agency called Team Tandem. And while in Dubai, my love for live events has been there for ever and ever. And I started doing some live events in Dubai and realized there is a market outside of Dubai and India also. And that's when we, 2 years back, we moved into Far East. And we tried our hands in Singapore and then moved into some shows in KL. And last 1 year, we've done 2 shows in Jakarta, in Bangkok. So we realized that there is opportunity there also. As everybody, Rohit has been just suggested that artists' expectations from bigger markets like Singapore and Dubai are very, very high, especially Dubai.
One of the example of a Southeast Asian market numbers, if you can just share so people to understand what makes to make.
That's what. So Dubai artists.
Dubai nahi, just Southeast.
No, I'm just comparing.
Ha.
I'm just comparing. Artist price for Dubai is 100 rupees. And same artist knows that in Asia, the market price is not that high. And there is a market to explore. Jakarta, after COVID, we were the first ones to do a Bollywood show. We did with Atif Aslam, and that's when we realized there is a Indian diaspora. There's a large audience there who's keen on these shows, and slowly we are building that market. In fact, in last 1.5 years, we've done 9 shows in that market, and the numbers are encouraging. In fact, with 77, we partnered for Sonu Nigam Asia tour.
77 आदित्य जरा खड़े होएगा
आदित्य, ये रहा।
आदित्य को बात करना अच्छा नहीं लगता, ये भी लाइव बिजनेस में घुस गए और प्रमोटर बन गए हैं। एक बार तालियां बजाए आदित्य के लिए, वो बेचारा शर्माता है, मैंने बोला था स्टेज पे आ जाए। 77 लाइव बिजनेस में बहुत सारा काम कर रहे हैं।
Seriously, it's great to partner with friends and explore new markets, because the risk is like kind of we could do it together. And so, like I said, Singapore has been a market where people have seen the shows doing well. But the other markets, KL, Rohit has been building up a lot of Bollywood interest there. And we are just kind of trying to add to that. And
so if there is an artist management company here, how do you think smaller artists, I won't say smaller, I'm saying artists which can sell 2,000 tickets, 3,000 tickets, is there a real market? They can talk to you, how to go about it?
Actually, any talent manager who's really wanting to grow the artist should partner with the promoters now. New markets, even we guys are burnt out, actually going in red. But if the partnership happens with the artist, I think these markets and many more can be explored. So it's not just Singapore, it's not just one KL, or it can be a 4-5 cities, easily doable, because there is diasporas there and people want to see live music, and definitely there is a market for a new artist also.
Got it. Thanks, Gagan. Deepak.
Check.
So Deepak Pawar, Deepak, you've been part of a few international shows in Middle East, and the comedy is one space which has grown. These two I want to touch upon. You saw Doha as a market because we don't have anybody from Doha, and you did Shreya Ghoshal in Doha, and you did Bryan Adams in Doha, and then you did Lionel Richie. Now, how your Doha market, what is, if somebody wants to get into Doha, what is they should need, how it works, Doha as a market?
So I think most of the markets out here, first thing when we moved to UAE as a market, I've been there, done that earlier years till 2000. Hi everyone. I've been doing concerts earlier a lot, but then post we knew what our country was doing at most of the time, half the tickets being government being taking away the tickets, and the P&Ls never used to work for us. So this was a natural move of Dubai as an operations, and I think we've been very successful in those markets because of a plug and play format. Systems work well out there, and I think infrastructure is great, and financials also nearly work good for us. Doha was an extension as a market for us, again requires a similar kind of an infrastructure. Ticketing partners like we have Platinum List in UAE, Dubai markets, we do have them there also as an extended version, but then Q Tickets, the other ticketing partners become larger than life out there. And and also you need an agency for the rules and regulations out there, as Thomas had earlier mentioned. So
government mentioned government.
The government out there, the support from governments mostly is the key part in the UAE market, at least is what I have seen. I think most of our shows, the government did partner, but the partnership then goes with the agency which is there involved, and those are the kind of, I think both our shows were quite successful, but I think financially weren't so good, to be honest, as a market if you see, but it's a growing market, beautiful crowd, but the restrictions still are there to some extent. Like the restriction we had out there was, we did it in a place we wanted alcohol to be served. For Lionel Richie, for example, and we had 6,000 people, the elite, in a queue standing, and suddenly we realized that the government has put 3 machines and want to check everybody's ID. Now, the show has to start, Lionel has landed, he's waiting, 8 o'clock we need to start, it's 8:45, the queue is still there. And only few people have come in. Then they have another issue of the veil to be put. And so there are a lot of issues that were there from the government's end and from the agency ends. There was a lot of struggle that we had out there. And then finally we had to take a call of, DC had to take that call to say, let's can the alcohol. Because if so many people outside, and Lionel yet to perform, it was looking very wrong for all those people, they were getting desperate. So finally we had to let everybody in, and we dropped on the alcohol part.
So you're talking about Lionel Richie in Doha. So
Yeah. So I think those were the struggles there. But these markets like Saudi market, if you look at it again, is very exciting. Bahrain has been calling for. So the more and more shows, see, again, the most important yesterday's, if everybody was attending, Mr. Kapil Mishra, when he was talking about, government's participation is what is, I think, the most important thing out there. I think all our shows, we have 50% government as a partner. In UAE. So that's I think one of the most wonderful things. They come all the way out here. We have not seen our Indian government going there to Dubai and attending the concert. See, if he's there, Fahad is there throughout on all our events out here. So I think the partnership there, their excitement, we get venues, they give us dates, they ask us to build an artist and build a show for us. So somewhere down the line, I think that's working for us through and through. It's just 2 years, I think. And more the partnerships, like we've been partnering with all of them out here and doing some great job out there. Right?
thanks, Deepak. Ajay Bhai, why we call him Bhai, because he's done so many years in that region. If artists land and then first call they make it to Ajay Kanjani, Ajay Bhai, we want to meet you. So much business this man has given to all Indian artists. I think kudos on that. Still, from the artist manager point of view, there are artist managers, and you sell a lot of shows in that market to the government, to us as promoters. What are you looking for? Okay, what is the artist you're looking for? You want to tell something to this artist manager ecosystem that this is what will sell in Middle East. Sell me this, give me this. What is that new frame you are looking at?
So I started this company 15 years back, Doha Milestone.
Pass low mic.
I started this company 15 years back in Dubai, Milestone. And I used to do my own shows before, but made a lot of losses. So then I became a go-to person for all my friends and everybody to book their artists, do an event for them completely. So now I'm close to the Global Village, I do the bookings for Global Village or Government of Dubai. A lot of artists come to me for that.
And Ajay has managed to get a lot of promoters for us across the region. We've got somebody from Nepal. There's Nitin Bhai. Nitin Bhai, would you like to stand once? Nitin Bhai is a large promoter in Dubai and does a lot of Indian shows. I think a hotelier who invests in, meet Nitin Bhai, I think.
Even Jasim from Doha.
And Jasim from Doha. Jasim, he's flew in from Doha, a promoter in Doha. Or kaun hai?
Rashid is there. Nepal.
Rashid?
He was here, I don't know now.
Yeah, Rashid is there? Yeah, so these are, please sit. So there are more promoters, and I think the idea, what we were, with Ajay's help also, what we've tried to do is get more and more promoters so that we can work along with them in those markets. Okay, and that's the idea, that how structurally we can give them artists, how they can take it forward. Closing notes.
Yeah, can I say something?
Closing for all side.
Because I think the panel was also about how can Indian artists go abroad. And if you have an Indian artist that appeals to an Indian audience in the Middle East, then I'm not the right promoter. But if you have an Indian artist that wants to pick up an audience beyond the Indian community, whether expat or visitors in the market, then I would love to work with them. My expertise is promoting, putting the ticketing deal together, working with the artist on best to penetrate the market. So I'm not the best promoter, as I said, within the Indian community, but increasingly there will be Indian artists appealing to an international audience. And I would love to be part of that stage of their careers in the markets that I promote in.
Thank you everybody, and thank you for coming into the city and to the event. Thank you so much. Thank you everybody. Thank you audiences.